Closed captioning for the Casey Malone Show is sponsored by Hunter Stevens Land Title Agency. Integrity, service, and commitment you can trust.
Oh yeah, Casey Malone is serving up local. It's time for the stories of our region, the tastes, the sights, the sounds, and the people in and around the valley. Get ready for some local flavor on the Casey Malone Show.
Today, we enjoy the hospitality at Carmela's Cafe. And I prepared chestnut soup because chestnuts are in season. But first, we head to Manaway and we learn more about chestnut cultivation. Well, you may remember Bob Staley from Winter Green Tree Farm. Well, it's not just Christmas trees. In the fall, Bob has chestnuts. And I am so excited to be here in his chestnut orchards because I am getting a whole lesson on chestnuts. I had no idea we could even grow them in Ohio.
Yeah, they don't grow real well in Ohio, but it's possible.
How many trees do you think you have here on your acreage?
On the entire farm, we have about 30,000 trees.
And you planted them.
Mm-hmm.
And how long before they come to fruition where they can actually bear fruit?
Some of them will bear fruit in as little as 3 years, but it's very little. You know, you might get one burr on 100 trees or something like that. Usually by about the 5th or 6th year, they're actually starting to produce.
I mean, that is quite a commitment.
It is, and the number 30,000 sounds like a huge number, but what we've found is that we plant about 10 for every one that we intend to keep because they don't all do well.
What disease or what is the problem that Ohio's kind of a tough terrain for them?
One is chestnut blight, which wiped out our native chestnut.
Okay.
And then we have a variety of other pests, including Phytophthora, which is a soil pathogen, and we've got oak wilt that attacks them, Japanese beetle, Oriental chestnut gall wasp, Asian oak weevil, and
Yikes.
That's just a few of them.
You don't pick them from the trees. They fall on the ground, and they have like a burr is what you call them, but it looks like a porcupine.
Right.
And then the nut is really protected, and it falls out of the porcupine.
That's right. Yeah, it's a very spiny burr that they grow in. They usually grow 3 nuts in each burr. And then when the nuts are actually really ripe, that burr will open up and the nuts fall from it. And that's why you really just pick them up off the ground because
I had no
that's
idea.
when they're actually really ripe.
So that's the burr, and this is what comes out, and like 3 of them, huh?
Usually.
Not one per burr. How can you tell if a chestnut is good or bad? Are these good ones?
Yeah, these are good ones. You want it to be completely filled up, not like wrinkly and that type of thing.
Right, and firm.
Yeah, firm. A lot of times in the store you may see chestnuts that are kind of dried out.
Right.
It's okay if you can put a little oil can dent in that, but if it's much more than that, it's if it's crackly, it's too far gone. And they're not your typical nut. Most nuts have a lot of oil, chestnuts don't, and so they actually dry out, and so they need to be refrigerated.
I was just gonna say, what is the proper storage for a chestnut?
Yeah, you want to keep them in the crisper section of your refrigerator.
And how long do you think they'll last?
A month or 2.
They can't freeze. I can't imagine.
No, you don't want to freeze them.
Well.
Although a lot of my customers will take them and cook them and then freeze them.
Oh, and then you could just use them.
Then you can use them
and
whenever
recipes
you
and that.
Mm-hmm.
You can eat them raw. Let's open one up. So you don't have to cook them. In the past, when look, one just fell. How awesome is that? A bird just fell.
Glad it didn't fall on us. That's all I can say.
At least you have a hat on.
Yeah.
Right.
They're an interesting nut because I think they're the only nut that has vitamin C. They have a lot of magnesium.
Let's say you cut down a tree.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that's really good with the chestnut wood?
Very rot resistant. Has a very interesting grain and it's fairly strong, but not real heavy.
Right.
A lot of people like to do woodworking with it. When we still had the native chestnut here, they made all kinds of stuff. They claimed it was as rot resistant as redwood.
Wow.
So they made all kinds of different things.
Well, then what variety are you growing here? Like, what did you pick up that works here in our climate?
These are hybrids. They're part Chinese and part American. This was the first commercial orchard I put in, but after this I planted an orchard with about 5,000 trees where I tried all the different genetics that and combinations thereof. And we kept track of what did well in this part of the country. And then we thinned them down from 4,424 trees down to less than 400. And by that time we were choosing based on whether we like the taste or not. Now the seed that I get out of that orchard almost always produces a nice chestnut. And so we're planting our new orchards using those seed, and then we keep improving those orchards. We're kind of working on creating our own particular variety.
Dr. Moreau, you are like, mixing it up.
Well, the only problem is I got started on this project, and I realized somewhere along the way that I'd embarked on about a 150-year project that I'm probably not going to see the end of.
Oh, right.
But thank God my 2 kids are involved.
And they like it.
They do.
Your family is really interested in this too.
I'm blessed by that.
I was so excited when I actually called him last year. It was because of the chestnuts.
Yeah.
And you're like, sorry, you missed that, but I got Christmas trees. Hey,
Just
I want
checking,
a sapling. I want to grow one of these. You think I could in my backyard?
If they're fairly particular about where they like to grow. These ones are actually sitting on sand and gravel. And this little mound here is what they call an esker. It basically was a river bed in the ice sheet. It was once over Ohio, and when the ice sheet melted, it just settled down on the ground. But it provides this really well-drained soil and this kind of high sloping ground that
and this is
frost
ideal
resistant.
for that.
Yes.
Yeah. Do they all have that big, oval leaf?
They do, but the leaf is different depending on what species it is. The Chinese have a leaf that actually has like a fuzzy surface on it, and that pure American just has a matte surface on it. If you know enough about them, you can actually pick up the leaf and tell to some degree what kind of tree.
Look, another one down. That one was a little closer.
It's just a matter of time.
I know, I love this. Now, how long will it take after that drops for the nuts to fall out?
They may have fallen out already. Now you can see this one here has nuts in it. And I think this one just dropped.
Right. Oh, wow.
But over a period of about a day, that'll open up enough so the nuts would fall out. A lot of my pickers will open it up with their feet. They don't even try and touch them, but you can just take your feet and open them up like that.
That is so
and then
cool.
You'll see, you've got 3 shiny nuts in there. It's funny, the chestnuts were the one thing that I allowed myself to do that didn't have to make a profit, just as a hobby. And it's kind of taken over my life, and it's now the main income producer for the farm. Could never find any decent chestnuts around here. And so I thought, well, I'm just going to grow my own. But it kind of turned into this.
Taken over. I mean, it is something. I think you're going to get a lot of people from our area, man, that are going to start becoming chestnut fans.
Good. I imagine they probably already are. They've probably had a hard time finding good ones, but I think they would really like ours and become really popular. And people coming out here to pick their own and that kind of thing too.
Yeah, well, I'm going to get mine. I'm going to start on some of those recipes. And, if you don't make it for the chestnuts, Christmas is right around the corner.
Yep, that's right. It's coming fast.
He's going to take care of all your holidays from Halloween all the way down to Christmas.
I like that idea. Well, thank you.
Thank you. The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor. This is Senior Solutions, brought to you by the Reese family, the owners of Briarfield Healthcare Centers. This new series will explain care programs available to your family. Right now, we're at Briarfield Place in Boardman. So while I'm here for physical therapy, can I have visitors?
Of course you're allowed visitors, and we encourage visitors. We encourage your family and friends, your grandchildren. It's all about quality of life and the social aspect of seeing your family, seeing your friends, even seeing your pet. We also encourage them to allow you to rest and participate in therapy, though, while you're here. It's more than just a physical well-being. We're promoting your overall mental health. So if the walls are closing in on you and you feel like you need to go home for a few hours a day, you could do that as well.
Briarfield knows you have lots of questions, and they have the answers. With Senior Solutions, you'll have a clear understanding of Briarfield's care programs.
GABA Camp is open year-round for adults with disabilities and their families. GABA Camp is compliant with the ADA for accessibility. A paved wheelchair path provides scenic and recreational opportunities for everyone. We still have much more to offer. GABA Camp is a 501c3 for the betterment of people with intellectual, physical, and developmental disabilities from all walks of life. Donate now. Your help is needed. Giving is living.
Hi, I'm John Stanko.
And I'm Robbie Fellman from Boardman Subaru, home of the safest, most award-winning vehicles on the road today.
With 5 IIHS top safety picks, while having the longest lasting vehicles in the industry and being rated #1 in product quality.
Come and feel the difference for yourself in the Subaru Outback, with rates as low as 0.9%.
Award-winning vehicles and award-winning service.
Only at Boardman Subaru, just south of Route 224 on South Avenue.
It's patio season at Carmela's. Enjoy our family's traditional Italian favorites and creative daily specials. We're open for lunch and dinner Monday through Saturday. Carmela's on Western Reserve Road in Boardman.
Weight loss goals aren't one size fits all. At Hurricane Health and Wellness, we understand the struggle. We've been there too. That's why we offer the most popular, effective weight loss medications at an affordable price. Look and feel your best today with Hurricane Health and Wellness.
You better come on in my kitchen.
Well, I thought it was really cool when we got to visit a chestnut farm right here in Ohio. So I'm gonna prepare some chestnut soup made with those chestnuts. And it is the perfect time of year. Fall is here. We've got all the holidays coming up and chestnuts work perfectly. Thanksgiving and Christmas. I've made cookies, I've made hummus, I've roasted chestnuts, but I've never mastered the chestnut soup. And I've been experimenting, and I think you are going to really enjoy this recipe. So let's go over the ingredients and we will prepare chestnut soup. For this recipe, you'll need 4 slices of bacon, 1 tablespoon of unsalted butter, 3 carrots peeled and sliced, 2 stalks of celery sliced, 1 leek, white and light green parts sliced, 2 shallots chopped, 4 cups of chicken broth or stock, 1 teaspoon of chopped sage, 1 teaspoon of thyme leaves, 1 bay leaf, 2 cups of roasted chestnuts, about 2 dozen, and save 2 for garnish. 1/2 cup of heavy cream and dry sherry, crumbled bacon, and chopped chives for garnish. So what you want to do is take the flat part of the chestnut and just pierce it with a knife in an X. And then they're going to go into the microwave for just 1 minute. And the heat from the microwave actually makes these curl up and very easy to remove the shell and the skin. So they're out of the microwave and you see how they've curled up a little bit and they're really warm, and that's when you want to deal with them. So all I do is squeeze them and then they just pop right out. I mean, the skin usually comes right with it, and you gotta make quick work of it. And there you go. Look at that, perfect chestnut. How easy was that? Well, I'm rendering the fat from the bacon. I'm gonna get it nice and crispy. It's gonna add the nice flavor base to begin with. Then I'll move the crisp bacon off and use it as a garnish. So I'm just waiting for this to get nice and crispy, and then this really moves along quickly once we get the bacon cooked. So the bacon is nice and crispy. So I'm gonna remove that and let this fat drain off on this paper towel. And then I'm only gonna need about a teaspoon of the bacon fat. So what I'm gonna do is I save my bacon fat because Ken likes dirty eggs, and I like it for my ginger snap cookies at Christmas time because I use bacon fat instead of butter. Oh, they're so good. Anyhow, so I'll save that, and then we'll get ready and we'll start adding everything else into the pot. So now we've got about a teaspoon of the bacon fat. I'm going to add sizzle, and now the shallots go in, the leeks. I really like leeks, but remember, they're kind of dirty on the inside. So when you get them, split them in half and rinse them out real good, and use the light and dark green parts. And then the carrots and the celery goes in. So we are just gonna let this cook down a little bit, about 10 minutes to soften up all the vegetables. And as it's softening up, this is a good time to add a little salt and pepper. You know, I do about half teaspoon, dries out a little bit of the moisture in the vegetables, and just a couple grinds. See, everything is nice and softened. And now we add these ingredients. So use stock or broth. I'm using kitchen stock. Now, if you want this to be vegetarian, well, you don't have the bacon, and you could use vegetable stock, but this is not the vegetarian one. And now I'm going to add the sage, which I just love sage. I'm going to add 1 bay leaf, and then the thyme. And now the star of the show, the chestnuts. So I'm gonna bring it up to a slow boil and then put it down to simmer for about 30 to 40 minutes to get everything cooked and softened. So now it's been removed from the heat. So now I'm going to add the half cup of heavy cream.
Wow.
And I'm gonna use one of my favorite tools in the kitchen, my immersion blender. All right, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you the job to taste this and see what we need to do to adjust the seasoning. All right.
Well, that's a good job.
Right?
How's that?
That looks perfect. See, it
You
is a
left me
pretty
little nugget
color.
there, yeah.
Oh, there is a little nugget in there. So I wasn't as smooth as I should have been.
It's okay.
But I'll enjoy it.
As long as you got your salt right.
Right.
And so you need what, a half a shot of sherry?
Right, just a little half ounce. Okay, so now I'm gonna crumble
Okay.
a little bit of the chestnuts, a little bit of the chives,
Okay.
and last but not least, what everybody loves, the bacon bits.
Wow.
Wow, this is even better than the last batch I made. It is, did you see how easy that was though?
That's delicious.
I mean, this would be really nice.
I still think it needs a pinch of salt, but
Okay, well, all right.
you know, I'm gonna make it a thing. The
Okay.
salt.
I mean, nice starter, right? For dinner.
God, much better.
Okay. Go to my website, CaseyMaloneShow.com, and look for the recipe for chestnut soup. It is
delicious.
Really delicious. And if you don't think there's enough salt, throw some in.
The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor.
At Window World, family is the heart of our business.
And we're committed to giving you the family treatment too.
From your free estimate to installation and long after, whether replacing windows, entry doors, or the siding you've dreamed of.
We promise to treat your home like it's our own.
It's what we've stood behind for all these years. And for years to come, we'll continue to say,
Not only do we stand behind our windows, we stand on them.
I'm Elizabeth Bernard. For more than 30 years, I've provided our Valley with sound legal advice. My associate Jennifer Rigetti and I will be your legal representatives if you're involved in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident. Don't try to handle it yourself. We'll navigate the red tape of dealing with doctors, medical insurance, and all the obstacles that you'll face. Remember, there are no upfront fees on personal injury cases, and hiring a lawyer does not mean you have to go to court.
Call attorney Elizabeth Bernard, local legal experience for more than 30 years.
For over 75 years, Kamara Jewelers has been the destination for quality jewelry. Our collection has a piece for everyone, in every occasion. Whether you're starting a new chapter, celebrating a milestone, or showing appreciation for the special people in your life, you can find a piece that reflects your love. At Kamara, we're about timelessness. Our jewelry isn't just for special occasions, it's for everyday moments that deserve a touch of elegance.
Locally sourced is good, whether it's ingredients or a bank, and that's why my bank is Farmers National Bank. Since 1887, Farmers has remained rock solid through every economic condition. Having a bank with a history of safety, soundness, and conservative management is a must. It all boils down to this. You need a bank that will help you reach your goals. I do too, and Farmers is mine. Farmers National Bank, rock solid. Well, you know how I love my family-owned businesses, and Carmela's has been around. It's almost 14 years.
It'll be 14.
And Laura Allsweet is one of the owners, and Laura is one of the most entertaining hostesses you will find. So if you've not been to Carmela's, make sure you stop and visit with Laura. 14 years is a lot.
It is, and it's been with all of my family.
Your family, your husband.
My husband.
I mean, and that gets a little sketchy. I mean, you've got your father involved, your mom, and
my sister.
All of the, the meetings of the minds. I'm sure you aren't always on the same page.
No, I don't even know if we've ever been on the same page.
But you're still in business.
Yeah. Like I said, 14 years, and I'm not divorced or disowned yet. So that's
saying something. Now, you and Rory, your husband, have extensive restaurant.
Oh yeah,
experience.
We actually met. Oh, we were 21 or just turned 21 at the time, and I was actually a waitress at the original Blue Wolf.
Okay.
When it was in Struthers.
Yes.
And they hired this line cook, and I was like, oh, he's cute.
And that was
it.
So now Rory's the executive chef.
Yes.
And what made you transition from working at a restaurant to owning one? Because that's quite a leap. And you know how the restaurant business is just...
It's insane. It is something that unless you're in it,
you
don't know.
You have to be a special person and understand the industry when you get into it.
You really do, and you got to know that this industry will end up, especially when you're running it, managing it, becomes your life. Like, I'm always calling in. The staff gets mad at me on my day off. I'm calling in, is everything okay? They're like, yeah.
Well, it's
don't
your
call.
baby. You have children, so this is your
my
child.
baby. It's become my baby. I mean, it started out with my parents. My dad one day looked at the family and goes, hey, I'm retiring and I'm going to open a restaurant. And we all kind of went, what? Why? My aunt came in. She decorated the place from California. My grandmother was Carmela. She was.
So that is the Carmela.
It is the Carmela.
Cafe. Your mom's mother.
My mom's mother, the Italian side of the family. And so we grew up kind of learning how to cook and her recipes. And, I was very fortunate that when my dad did decide to open this, she was still around and she was still able. So, and my grandmother, honestly, when I told her, oh, Grandma, I met this nice cook and he really knows how to cook. She goes, he's Irish, are you sure?
I know, really, that's one thing they're not known for, their culinary skills.
I will tell you.
Well, I am one of them, but I do cook.
Oh, yeah.
How much did your grandma influence the menu when you first opened?
Oh, so much. In fact, I was just telling a table here this afternoon, they're like, oh, I haven't seen cagouts on a menu. And cagouts is just Italian slang for zucchini.
Zucchini, and that's the real skinny one?
Yeah, where you saute it up with a little tomato. Oh, it's so good, and cheese, salt, and pepper. So when we were first opening up, I'm like, Grandma, I called her up. I go, Grandma, how do you spell cagouts? You don't spell it, you eat it. And I went, well, Grandma.
Put it on the menu.
I need to put it. She goes, well, I think it's Q-U. And I go, oh, Grandma, I'll just look it up. We'll spell it phonetically.
After everything's set in, what did you really learn about the business?
If it wasn't for the staff, I mean, Kathy's been with us for 13 years. I have a hostess, Susie, who's been with us since we opened. Frank, our prep cook, he's been friends with my family since he was 12.
I mean, that is so important.
It's
to have
really
that
important.
Loyalty, and you treat them right, and then they treat you
Oh,
right.
it is a two-way street. If I'm good to them, they're good to me. Yesterday, in fact, I had something come up. They all jumped on it. They all rallied to help. and that you can't please everyone. That's the second lesson.
What do you think is Rory's signature dish that has been on the menu since day one and is still so popular?
That's actually probably an easy one. Out of the dishes Rory makes, I think our grilled salmon. It has been on the menu since we first opened. It is sauteed yellow squash and zucchini with grilled salmon and a limoncello and sauce. It's so good. I'm a fan of anything he makes. In fact, the first thing he ever cooked for me was the chicken marsala, and that was 23 years ago on our third date. I went, yeah, I'll marry him.
What do you think sets Carmela's apart from other locally owned restaurants in our region?
Well, I honestly think all the locally owned should be supported, no matter what. I think everyone has a little bit of a preference on Italian more so. I think it connected to a lot of other people. I mean, it's a very traditional Newcastle Italian sauce. And a lot of people, when they try, oh, this is just like how my mom used to make it. I go, well, you know, and same with the wedding soup. We still roll the meatballs by hand every morning, you know, boil the chickens down.
That makes the biggest
everything.
difference. You know, you have a very loyal following.
Oh, I do. This is, in fact, I have a gentleman, his name's Lou. He's 100.
Let me hear about Lou.
He is 100 years old. He is turning 101 next month, actually. And he comes here every Thursday and Friday by 5:30 on the dot. I know exactly what he's ordering. We have it ready. And he's been that way since we opened. It used to be him and his wife, and then it became him. And now it's him and his daughter when she's in town. And this is a spot to come. And I have people who've moved away who say, we come here just for the wedding soup because it's like how my grandmother made it. And I go, yep, because it's like how my grandmother made it. You know, you want comfort food. You want to be comfortable when you're coming out. You don't want to have to sit there and feel, you know, rushed or uncomfortable. Come here. We'll feed you. You will become family.
The Casey Malone Show is sponsored in part by Denise and John York and the DeBartolo Corporation.